Hey, great, we're live. Sean, I think we're live.
I think
Oh,
we're
good, good.
That's a fist bump.
There we go.
We're the three other candidates. There's 5 in this race for the U.S. Senate. I'm Mark Beard. Kind of want to just start off to have a little conversation here with everybody. We've been on the road. All of us we all seem to show up at the same events. We actually have some really, really good conversations, and we're just kind of understanding that a lot of us don't agree on a lot of the same issues, but we have some really, really good conversations. We're just kind of wondering why DC can't do the same thing, and have these. We can disagree, but we can have respectful deal. That's kind of what it is. We all like each other, which is good, which is a good thing too.
Yeah, they both made some great points.
And we'll be friends when this thing's over. Sean, since this is your deal, why don't you just start off with what your hot button issue is, and go from there, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Sound like a plan. Of course, I'm Sean Braddy. I'm one of the independent candidates on the progressive side. And my hot button, what really fires me up is that economic injustice, that there is no economic injustice. When I know of friends who are living paycheck to paycheck, when I know that most folks couldn't afford a $400, fine or fee that would just completely put them under, that's what I'm standing for, I'm standing against. That's where I want to see changes, that it's fair for even the working poor to have a chance to be able to tend to their kids, meet their basic needs, send their kids on to college, just the basic things that everybody wants to have, the opportunities everybody want to have, I think should go across the board, and I think the United States could provide that if it's done fair across the board.
Yeah.
Robert?
Well, my big deal is I want to get the money out of politics. And the only real way to do that is to reduce the amount of power that's available for sale. P.T. O'Rourke once said, when buying and selling is controlled by legislation, the first thing to be bought and sold are legislators.
Like
so, and we all know about the revolving door. James Comey, our FBI director, worked for Lockheed Martin, worked for Goldman Sachs, and who knows where he's going to go after he leaves the FBI. But so many of our politicians and bureaucrats out there in Washington, they just go back and forth between the government and industry, and they get lucrative salaries for doing that. What about you, Mark?
Well, my hot button issue is basically the continuing resolutions in this omnibus bill. They just keep spending money. We're not actually, China's not buying our debt. Everybody's saying, well, we got a debt structure. They're not doing that. They're printing money. So if you're on fixed income, really anybody, but if you're on fixed income, they're inflating you out of your dollars. I mean, your food bill's gone up 38%, and our present senators, they just keep voting for this stuff, and so does most of our reps. And something needs to be done. And if these guys don't know how to do it, you got to change it. When Tom Coburn comes out and says on 60 Minutes, the only way you're going to change the system is you got to change everybody up there. You got to vote them all out. He didn't say, "Oh, protect this one or protect that one." He said, "Get rid of all of them," because they're killing you. I mean, so they tell you you're going to get a Social Security check to people on Social Security, and now they're just inflating you out of the money. So basically, they give you $1,000 a month, and then in 5 years later, it's worth half that. And so that's been my hot button issue from the very, very, very beginning of that. And my thing is I'd like to see legislators up there that can't be bought, can't be sold, and can't even be rented. It's time for a change.
Yes. Passive. And to go back to, I think folks need to see this, that if we can talk and we're pretty much, on the same, and we know, hey, it's the corruption, it's the political class, it's that, those wealthy and powerful just passing the ball back and forth.
Yeah, that's right.
We're never going to get to play. No. We're always out. And I think the folks on my social economic class, I know they're feeling it. I see it in their eyes. We talk about it, and it's like, that's got to change. So I would say, definitely, let's get the money out of politics. Not over a progression of time, but right now,
Yeah,
right now today.
that's what we need.
Change it now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And so, anyway, we want to continue to, get the message out. I know this is on, on my Senate page, but we want to ask everybody, you want to share this with all your friends, whether they're conservative, libertarian, progressive. The message is generally the same, and we got to keep them from, dividing us on silly, divisive issues. I'm not worried about, if somebody else has a gun. It's fine, dandy. It is an issue, but it's something we can talk about later after we get the money out of politics.
Yeah. And you have to remember the two-party system. The two major parties, there's not a dime's worth of difference between them, really. It's all fluff on the surface. Once you get in there in the two major parties, people are always ruled by minorities. And if you have a really well-organized 1% of the country, you can rule 300 million people and tap into their energy and resources and not have to worry about a thing.
And that's what's been happening.
Those two parties, they're going to be the death of us, I think. Oh well. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, the other thing is there's really, and this is one of my thing is if you want Mitch McConnell as your senator in Oklahoma, then vote for the present one because that's what you've been getting. And so if you're happy with Mitch McConnell, then vote for Mr. Langford. If you're not, then look around. There's qualified people here. I mean, as I say, we differ on a number of issues, but I'm going up there to if you elect me, and I know these two are the same way, is we're going up there to represent the people.
Yes.
We're not here to represent ourselves. Or I think, I don't know about them. I'm self-funded. I've self-funded all my travel, and then hadn't asked for a dime from anybody. And I'm not gonna do that. I mean, they spend so much time collecting money, and it's ridiculous. And all it is a slush fund. And so if you like what you've got right now, you've got the best paid House and Senate right now that's ever been there. They're the best paid in the world because they've been bought and sold.
I'll add on to that. Whichever one of the three of us, can upset Langford. What's going to happen is the Oklahoma, people are going to benefit because we're not tied into big corporations. We're not locked into the party politics, so we can represent just the people. So to me, I think it's a blessing that you got five choices for U.S. Senate. If you don't like one, check out the other. If you don't like choice 2 or 3, you got a choice 4 and 5. You can't beat that.
It's democracy.
Yeah, that's democracy.
If you look at the present records of your House or Senate race, I'm going off of mine and because I'm in Central Oklahoma. But if you go off of that and you look at their record, you do the research on it, you will not vote for them. If you look at their voting record, you will not vote for them.
Yeah. I think what also could help is if you look at it and you see reasons not to continue with the present senator, you have to also inform your friends, because sometimes your friends are not looking at it, and when people start talking to other people and friends start passing on ideas, then we kind of get everybody plugged in. That's the way to go about doing it. Start talking to your neighbors, get beyond the divisive issues and continue to talk to friends, family, and let them know, hey, there's options. We don't have to continue this way, as a state. We got the options to change.
Well, that's a good point. Word of mouth is the best advertising you can get.
Yeah.
That's what we're all aiming for.
I'll have to say, you got $2 million in your campaign. You got $2 million. I don't got $2 million. So
We've been 10 minutes. You want to continue this, or you want to do another one here in a little bit, or?
I wonder. We'll go and hit pause and look and see what comments we got and decide.
Well, 10 minutes takes a long time to upload to YouTube.
Oh, maybe, good point. So, we're going to continue to talk, and we may do this again, and we may, home in on specific immigrations if y'all think that's specific topics like immigration, foreign policy.
Yeah.
If everybody likes this and we get enough views, I'm willing to do it again.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
All right, y'all. I'm
Thank
Sean
you.
Braddy.
I'm Mark Beard.
I'm Robert Murphy.
5 choices. Y'all have a good one. Oh, they said talk about education. They want us to talk about education. Let's do this. Give us a few minutes to go through the comments, and we'll get right back on in about 7 minutes or less.
Cool.
All right.